Anime characters are like the seasons because they're always changing. Now, their ages can change, their outfits can change, their personalities can change. But truly, the most important changes that any anime character goes through are the changes in their forms. See, one of the oldest tropes in all of shonen anime is that the main protagonist will get new and more powerful forms. Every MC in a shonen that runs for enough time starts a scrappy 12-year-old and ends up as some kind of god by the time they're 16. And some MC really don't even have to wait that long. Goku started as a kid who was able to shoot a laser out of his hands when he screamed loud enough, and then he learned if he screamed a little louder, he could change his hair color. Asta started out as a scrappy young 15-year-old who found out if he screamed loud enough, he could pull out a sword out of a book, and is now the master of 2 different countries' fighting styles and half demon. And the characters in the Naruto universe are no different. Naruto started out as a child with no real abilities or anything special about him outside of the demon fox that was trapped inside of him. However, as time progressed, Naruto went from a scrappy young kid to quite literally pretty much the god of the world, all on the back of his hard work and that demon fox inside of him. But in order to go from that scrappy young kid to basically the god of the world, Naruto had to go through a lot of different forms. 14 exactly, which is more than a lot of people in anime have. You're probably reeling at that number.
14 forms? Naruto had 14 forms throughout Naruto and Boruto?
Actually, he had more. I'm cutting out a few because I don't believe they're relevant. But there is 14 very relevant forms, which is insane. The only other person to give Naruto even a close run for his money in terms of total forms is Goku, and that's because we remixed Super Saiyan God like 9.5 times. So what are these 14 forms? How did Naruto awaken them, and what did they give him? Well, we're gonna be answering all those questions and more today, guys, but first, please, for me, like this video, subscribe to the page, hit that noti bell. And if you guys like the idea of me discussing all of the forms of some of your favorite anime characters, well, I'm gonna be doing it for a lot of anime characters, but I can only do Naruto and Boruto characters on this page, so most of them are gonna be on my other channel, the Weeb Commander, which you should go follow. And if you like the idea of me talking about all anime, then you're gonna love my anime podcast called Otaku's Anonymous, where me and Danny Mata break down everything that happened in anime this week. It's available on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. So, the changing of form, sometimes considered the most important thing in shonen anime. The majority of the greatest moments in recorded shonen anime history are when the main character of a shonen anime finally achieves what is either their final form or just a really cool new form. Goku obtaining Super Saiyan 1, Goku obtaining Ultra Instinct, Gon obtaining his adult form, Naruto using Baryon mode. These are moments that will live in anime history forever. But the thing about constantly switching between forms is that some of the intermediary forms get forgotten. Sure, we remember Super Saiyan God, but do we remember Super Saiyan God 100 times Kaioken Ultra Instincts times 6 Ultra Ego? I don't know, Super is a mess. But Dragon Ball can't be the only people receiving blames for throwing about as many forms at you as you're willing to accept, as Naruto falls right into that same categorization as Goku. Well, obviously Naruto has the big forms, like Sage Mode and Baryon Mode and KCM 1 and KCM 2. There's also a lot of smaller, build-up forms that got Naruto to those points. And while today we are going to be very much talking about the big and important forms, we're also going to be talking about the less important forms, because you can't build a house without a foundation. So with no further ado, let's get into what was essentially Naruto's first ever upgrade, because coming in at number 14, we have the Chakra Shroud. See, the Chakra Shroud was something that we saw in the very early days of Naruto, our first instance of Naruto ever tapping into Kurama's power. Now, in order to explain how a lot of these forms work, I'm gonna have to explain to you a little bit on how the 8 trigram seal works. See, the reason that Minato used the 8 trigram seal to seal Kurama into Naruto is so Naruto could use Kurama's chakra. See, the 8 trigram seal, while it does seal away Kurama, also leaked out a lot of Kurama's chakra. And as time progressed, aka as Naruto gets older, the seal leaks more and more of Kurama's chakra. However, in the early days, i.e. when Naruto was a baby and couldn't handle Kurama's chakra, it leaked very little. See, Minato knew from Jiraiya that the child of prophecy was going to be born. And Minato made the assumption that his own son would be the child of prophecy, and therefore, as the child of prophecy, he would need Kurama's chakra. However, this is actually why Minato decided to split Kurama's chakra in half, because he knew that the chakra released from the 8 trigrams seal from a full Kurama in a baby would kill him. The reason that I'm explaining this is because this 8 trigram seal and Kurama leaking his chakra into Naruto is basically how the majority of his early day forms operate, with the chakra shroud being no exception. The first time that we ever see the Nine Tails chakra shroud used by Naruto is in the Land of Waves. This is a form that we only ever really saw Naruto use in moments of desperation. Therefore, him using this form wasn't voluntary. It was Naruto in a moment of need tapping into latent chakra he wasn't sure he had. Now, this chakra shroud, or initial Jinchuriki form, massively improves Naruto's speed, strength, and recovery. In this form, Naruto undergoes some appearance changes. His eyes become red, his whiskers become bigger, his hair gets longer and spikier, and he grows claws and fangs like Kurama. And while we've never seen Naruto manipulate this chakra around him, we have seen other Jinchuriki like Utakata use this chakra to enhance their punches or fire off shockwaves, while Naruto tends to generate his shockwaves through roars. While this form might seem like Naruto losing control, it's actually not that. Well, at least it's not that by the time that he's battling against Neji, because by the time that he's battling against Neji, Naruto is able to channel this mode to improve his chances in battle. Though in the Land of Waves, it was him losing control. Now, after the 14 spot, the next couple of spots are going to be somewhat similar, because coming in at the 13 spot, we have his one-tailed cloak mode. Now, the reason that I say these next couple of forms are going to be similar is because this one-tailed cloak mode is a version 1 Jinchuriki cloak, and Naruto is able to manifest different versions of the version 1 cloak that have a different amount of tails. He's able to do the same with version 2. See, the version 1 Jinchuriki cloak, what Jiraiya refers to as the demon fox cloak, forms an incredibly dense shroud of chakra around the Jinchuriki, in this case Naruto, and this incredibly dense chakra can act as a defensive mechanism for Naruto. However, it also injures him. See, the chakra in a version 1 cloak appears as though it's boiling, and this is because the super density of the chakra actually heats it up, which causes Naruto's skin to boil. However, the healing factor of Kurama's chakra also causes his skin to heal. Now, this chakra form takes the appearance of Kurama and can manifest as many tails as Kurama has, 9. And these tails can operate as chakra arms to grab things or to hit people. And every new tail sprouted increases the speed, strength, and stamina of the person using this cloak. Now, the way that this form operates largely depends on the Jinchuriki's relationship with their tailed beast. If this form manifests out of spite and hate and losing control of your tailed beast, then those around you will experience discomfort in your presence and your body will begin to corrode. And if you use this form for long enough, parts of your body will begin to corrode beyond use. And with every new tail that's manifested, the Jinchuriki loses more and more control. However, this isn't necessarily the worst thing, because as the Jinchuriki loses more and more control, the shroud can actually operate on its own. Meaning, let's say hypothetically, there's a kunai coming for the back of the Jinchuriki's head that the Jinchuriki is unaware of. The shroud, if it's manifested enough tails, can simply snag that kunai. But not all version 1 cloaks have to come with a loss of control. In fact, it was Killer B that showed Naruto that he was able to manifest an 8-tailed version 1 cloak and not lose any control because he had a relationship with Gyuki, meaning that he was able to access all of the benefits in speed, strength, stamina, and healing that this version 1 cloak gave him without the loss of control, while also maintaining the fact that the shroud could operate on its own. And there's some massive benefits conveyed with this, like the fact that a level 1 cloak can repel the likes of Amaterasu, as Amaterasu burns away at the super dense chakra, but not the body itself. We have a while until Naruto gets to that point, because we're talking about the one-tailed version. See, we first saw Naruto's one-tailed version 1 cloak in his first battle at the Valley of the End against Sasuke. It was his first real big power-up, and power him up it did. See, this cloak gave Naruto such speed and strength that even the 3 Tomei Sharingan that Sasuke currently wielded wasn't enough to keep up with him. At the same time, the defense, stamina, and strength given to him through this version was enough to keep up with Sasuke in his version 2 curse mark state, an upgrade that Sasuke himself had just recently gotten. Not to mention, through the manifestation of this state, Naruto was able to supercharge his Rasengan for the first ever time, starting what would be a long and arduous journey of making sure the Rasengan was ready to kill in any situation whatsoever. And sure, while technically Naruto loses this battle against Sasuke, that was plot, not his cloak. After the one-tailed version of the version 1 cloak, we have the 4-tailed version coming in at number 12. See, the 4-tailed version 1 cloak only ever happened in the anime, in one of the weirder filler arcs of all time. It was just like a retelling of Naruto's story in an incredibly weird and vague and like uncanny valley-esque way. It was like Sasuke was still bad and he was still with Orochimaru, but Naruto was after him with Neji and Yamato was trying to stop him, and for some reason Itachi's there. But in this incredibly weird weird filler arc, Naruto was able to manifest a four-tailed version 1 cloak. And in this form, Naruto is able to knock out Yamato, who's trying to suppress his chakra, and go toe-to-toe with a cursed mark Sasuke. Well, actually, Sasuke receiving the cursed mark is what breaks Naruto out of the form in the first place, but once again, weird filler arc. However, coming in at our number 11 spot, we do have a canon four-tailed moment. But this canon four-tailed moment isn't a version 1 cloak, it's a version 2 cloak. See, the version 2 cloak of a Jinchuriki cloak is about as close as you can get to a perfect Jinchuriki transformation without actually getting there. It's the upgrade of the version 1, which is rather obvious. See, if the density of chakra in the version 1 Jinchuriki cloak is water, then the density of the chakra in the version 2 is lead. See, in the version 2 Jinchuriki cloak, the chakra enveloping the Jinchuriki actually becomes more humanoid, while also becoming so incredibly thick and hot in vitriol that it creates a black endoskeleton type layer around the Jinchuriki. For those of you who have been like,
Vitriol means harsh criticism.
it actually used to mean sulfuric acid, and I'm using it in the sense of it being acidic and or burning its Jinchuriki, which it does. See, the reason that the version 2 Jinchuriki cloak is darker is because it burns away the skin of the user and dyes the chakra cloak with their blood. However, the regenerative properties of Kurama's chakra constantly heal these burns. It's kind of like Fire Punch. But the usage of this technique actually shortens the lifespan of the Jinchuriki because of the constant creation and destruction of new cells. It's like Tsunade using mitotic regeneration or Hashirama's healing factor. There is a very clear advantage over version 1 in this version 2 cloak. 1, simply entering this form generates so much energy that it creates craters around the Jinchuriki. 2, the strength, speed, stamina, and defenses of the Jinchuriki using this form are massively improved over version 1, with defense especially being massively buffed, as the chakra around the Jinchuriki is so thick that pretty much nothing can get through it. And defense can be even further buffed by manifesting bones, as we've seen Naruto actually multiple times manifest the bones of Kurama over his version 2 cloak to add more defense and a little bit more punching power. The first version 2 cloak we ever saw from Naruto was his four-tailed mode, and we saw him access this for the first time in his battle against Orochimaru, though we were told by Jiraiya that in the years that they were training together that Naruto multiple times accidentally manifested this four-tailed version 2 cloak, and the power of this cloak was so powerful he almost killed Jiraiya with it. Now, that's not to say that this version is strong enough to kill Jiraiya. Jiraiya never wanted to hurt Naruto, so obviously he wasn't giving it his all, but it does mean he was able to give Orochimaru a very good battle on Tenchi Bridge. This battle happened after the defeat of Sasori when Naruto saw Orochimaru for the first time. Wanting Orochimaru to give Sasuke back, Naruto lost control, and this version of Naruto was able to inflict multiple injuries to Orochimaru, melting away Orochimaru's entire body when Orochimaru tried to grab him with a snake, tearing Orochimaru in half with a swipe, and even forcing Orochimaru to summon one of his strongest summons, the triple Rashomon gates, to stop a tailed beast bomb. Yes, because in a version 2 state, you can create tailed beast bombs. So obviously Naruto, who's never purposely manifested a version 2 state, wasn't the person creating the tailed beast bomb here. See, Naruto, whenever he enters his version 2 state, doesn't know the difference between friend and foe. He attacks everybody equally. The hands are rated E for everybody. But in this mode, he is able to manifest a somewhat miniature version of the tailed beast's strongest ability. Even Orochi's Kusanagi blade, which is said to be able to cut through everything, was unable to cut through this cloak. So Naruto manifesting this version 2 cloak, even though he can't control it, is a massive upgrade. But this isn't the only version 2 cloak that Naruto ever manifests. In fact, Naruto manifests 3 other versions of the version 2 cloak, the first of which being the Six Tails transformation. We see Naruto manifest the Six Tail version of his version 2 cloak in his battle against Pain, specifically after he believes Pain kills Hinata. And even just through the manifestation of 2 more tails, Naruto's upgrades are relatively insane, which is why the Six Tails is very deserving of our 10 spot. See, with the Six Tails version, we begin to see what could be described as a partial transformation. See, while in the Six Tail version, Naruto's form was still relatively humanoid, he had begun to manifest the bones of Kurama. Naruto, who's basically unable to fight against Pain's strongest body, the Devapath in his Four Tails mode, upon manifesting the Six Tails, began to overwhelm the Deva Path entirely, forcing the Deva Path to run away from Naruto, to take cover from Naruto, to strategically lay down and hold his hands out and redirect energy blasts from Naruto. And even that wasn't enough, because in this six-tailed form, Naruto was able to overwhelm the power of the Rinnegan and blow the Deva Path away. The power of the six-tailed form was so incredible that it forced Pain to use Chibaku Tensei on Naruto, which is arguably Nagato and the Deva Path's strongest ability. But Naruto wasn't done improving upon his version 2 cloaks. No, because in our number 9 spot, we have the 8-tailed version 2 cloak. Now, this form is manifested after Naruto is trapped in the Chibaku Tensei. Naruto, lost in his agony and his pain, feels as though everything hurts and he wants to erase everything that hurts him. And it's at this point that Kurama offers him an olive branch. He says,
"I'll save you from your suffering. I'll erase everything that hurts you."
at which point the 8 trigram seal on Naruto's stomach is opened, at which point Naruto manifests the 8-tailed version 2 cloak. Now, calling this version a cloak is kind of a weird approximation, because it's barely a cloak. In fact, it's simply a partial transformation. Kurama erupts from Chibaku Tensei, able to rip apart the strongest ability of the Rinnegan while being in its center of gravity. And the version 2 tails of Kurama shoot out of the satellite created through Chibaku Tensei, and Kurama's musculature shoots out, showing a partially transformed Naruto, who's made everything except for Kurama's skin. Now, if it wasn't for Minato sealing a little bit of his chakra inside of Naruto for moments just like this, Naruto would have fully transformed into Kurama and been killed. So really, even calling this a form for Naruto is kind of a stretch, because he's more Kurama than himself in this moment. However, the fact that this form of Naruto was able to rip apart a Chibaku Tensei from inside is absolutely insane, especially when you consider the fact in the war arc, it took the combined efforts of Itachi, a KCM-1 Naruto, and Killer Bee attacking the center of a Chibaku Tensei when Edo Nagato was trying to use it against them simultaneously to destroy a satellite. But since we're talking about KCM-1, we should talk about KCM-1, because coming up at our number 8 spot is the first time that Naruto and Kurama decided to work together. KCM-1. See, when it comes down to it, there's 3 Nine-Tails Jinchuriki forms. Well, at least based forms that aren't super amped through Senjutsu or combining a bunch of other forms together. We'll get there. Naruto was able to manifest KCM-1 by training at the Waterfall of Truth with Killer Bee. And while he was able to manifest this mode without the full cooperation of Kurama, Naruto not having the full cooperation of Kurama actually brought a couple of drawbacks. See, obviously Naruto manifesting KCM-1 made him massively more powerful, and Naruto isn't able to awaken this form until he defeats the evil version of himself at the Waterfall of Truth. Upon awakening his KCM-1 mode, Naruto is finally deemed to be strong enough to head to the 4th Great Shinobi World War. And now Naruto gets a lot of the average buffs with this new form. He's faster, he's stronger, he has more stamina, he has more durability, his healing factor is massively buffed, and this is evidenced by the fact of who he goes up against in this KCM-1 mode. I mean, KCM-1 Naruto has to battle against some of the strongest people in Naruto history. He goes toe-to-toe with the likes of Edo Itachi, who might be the strongest version of Itachi ever. He teams up with the likes of Killer Bee and Edo Itachi to battle against Edo Nagato. And while he definitely doesn't do the heavy lifting in that battle, he's still in that battle. It's all the more impressive when you consider the fact that obviously Edo Nagato was brought back in a weakened state, but after absorbing the chakra of Killer Bee and Naruto, he was able to be rejuvenated to his full strength, which means infinitely refilling chakra, rejuvenated young body, and a body that can't be destroyed. Tie that into having a Rinnegan and you have a pretty formidable foe. But outside of increasing his speed and strength and his durability, Naruto also got some weird, more abstract buffs when he got KCM-1, like the ability to sense negative emotions from really any distance. He's able to sense the negative emotions of the battlefield of the 4th Great Shinobi World War from countries away. On top of this, in this mode, he began to release positive life force, which caused wood release constructs that he was around to mature into full-grown trees, or white zetsus to sprout branches whenever he punched them, as white zetsus are made from Hashirama's cells. But just because Naruto was shooting out positive energy in all directions doesn't mean that this change was 100% positive. See, like I stated when I first started talking about this form, Kurama isn't 100% cooperating with Naruto when he first awakens it, which is actually why in this form, Naruto can't use tailed beast balls, and instead has to make one of his funkier Rasengans, the tailed beast Rasengan, which I don't think he actually ever uses. But what he does use later on is miniature versions of tailed beast balls that he's able to create in this form. But the problem with him not having Kurama's cooperation in all of this is the fact that when he first begins to use this technique, he doesn't use his own chakra, instead relying entirely on the chakra of Kurama, causing him to shelve his own chakra. But this is actually quite dangerous, as by accessing only Kurama's chakra and shelving his own chakra, he actually leaves a backdoor open to Kurama to take his chakra and kill him, which means that Naruto has to be incredibly careful in the early days of using this form, as the longer he uses this form or the more clones he makes while in this form, the higher chance that Kurama takes enough chakra from him that he dies. However, as Naruto and Kurama begin to work on their relationship, Kurama stops trying to take Naruto's chakra, which is where we get our number 7 spot on this list, KCM2. Now, the vernacular of KCM1 and KCM2 is actually slightly inaccurate. See, KCM1 is actually just Nine Tails Chakra Mode, while KCM2 is Kurama Chakra Mode, KCM. And while the distinction might seem somewhat small, it's actually relatively important. See, the reason that Nine Tails Chakra Mode is called Nine Tails Chakra Mode is because Naruto doesn't know Kurama's name yet. And once Naruto becomes friends with Kurama and learns his name, he gains Kurama Chakra Mode. Now, KCM2, or Kurama Chakra Mode, is what happens when Naruto and Kurama synchronize their hearts. Now, KCM2 is Naruto's full-tailed beast transformation, without the actual transformation. While other Jinchuriki will turn into the tailed beast that they're the Jinchuriki of, Naruto doesn't have to undergo this full transformation. And therefore, Naruto's KCM2 can actually be equated to any full transformation from any other Jinchuriki. And this is evidenced by the fact that Naruto in this form is able to do what any Jinchuriki can do in their full transformation. Most importantly, he can create tailed beast balls. On top of this, Naruto is able to manifest parts of Kurama as he pleases, like a hand, or a leg, or a tail, or even Kurama's entire head. The best example of this would be in Naruto the Last, when we saw Naruto manifest Kurama's head to protect the entire village from Momoshiki's attack. But Naruto can also isolate KCM2 to just one part of his body, as we've seen Naruto isolate KCM2 to just a hand to deliver a blow or to defend himself, giving his full transformation an insane more amount of versatility than any other Jinchuriki. On top of this, in this form, Naruto is able to transfer his and Kurama's chakra to anybody, granting them tailless version 1 cloaks that make them substantially stronger. How big those upgrades are, we're not entirely sure, but Kakashi says that the upgrade improves his Kamui strength by 3-fold, and Hinata with his boost is able to redirect one of the hands of the Ten Tails with a vacuum palm. Now, obviously, this is the mode that Naruto had to rely on for the majority of the 4th Great Shinobi World War, and this mode technically only gets stronger when Naruto gains the entirety of Kurama, the mode that we see in the last. But the problem with scaling this mode is that this mode is usually used in conjunction with a couple of different things. But Naruto, just with the power of KCM2, was able to battle against 5 tailed beasts simultaneously, which makes sense when you consider the fact that a tailed beast and a Jinchuriki are stronger when brought together, and that this is essentially Naruto's full transformation. But this was still with only half of Kurama. But that's enough about KCM2, because we're going to talk about KCM2 again on this list, believe it or not, because coming up at number 6, we have Sage Mode. And I know what you're saying. You're saying,
Nick, you're heading in reverse here. Naruto got Sage Mode long before he got KCM1 or KCM2.
And you're right. He did. But I'm talking about Naruto all the way up to the modern day here. See, Naruto in current Boruto, I guess, really doesn't have access to anything. He's currently floating in a timeless dimension. But when he's not floating in a timeless dimension, only currently has access to Sage Mode. And while a lot of people believe that Naruto has been substantially nerfed through the loss of Kurama, which he has, is still incredibly strong with his Sage Mode. In fact, Naruto is probably the strongest Sage we've ever known. See, in Boruto, Naruto's Sage Mode is so incredibly powerful that it's not even really considered Sage Mode anymore. In fact, when Shikamaru is worrying about Naruto as he's shipping out to go fight Code to save Boruto, he tells Shikamaru that he's been training in Sage Mode for the last decade or so, and that he's become a substantially stronger Sage than he ever was before. And honestly, Naruto proves this, as he's immediately able to enter Sage Mode and maintain it for a longer amount of time. See, one of Naruto's biggest issues is that when he wanted to use Sage Mode previously, he needed Shadow Clones gathering Senjutsu Chakra for him. But the fact that he now believes that he's able to hold Sage Mode for as long as he needs to and is also able to transform immediately shows that that's no longer an issue for him. And on top of this, Naruto in Boruto believes that through the power of just his Sage Mode, he should be strong enough to take on code. And while Naruto is usually pretty good at deducing how powerful he is and his opponent is, he does prove to be pretty substantially weaker than Code, which is unfortunate, but then again, Code is supposed to be stronger than Ishiki, who battled against Baryon mode Naruto. So what I'm saying here is that Sage mode Hokage Naruto is probably stronger than just straight up KCM2 Naruto in the war, which means I believe he would be able to pull off feats like fighting against five-tailed beasts with just this form. Now, unfortunately, the only thing we really have to scale Naruto as an adult with just Sage mode is his battle against Code, which didn't go super well for him, but adult Naruto in base through mitts with Momoshiki, so he scales way higher than teen Naruto. However, I don't think adult Sage Naruto is as strong as our next entry on this list, which would be Naruto's Tailed Beast mode. See, while some would consider this Naruto's complete transformation into Kurama, it's actually one step beyond a complete transformation. See, this mode has Minato and Naruto transforming their cloaks into the shape of Kurama. Now in this form, Naruto has all of the benefits of KCM2, but add-on also being massive. Now, this form works very similar to a Susanoo, as both Minato and Naruto hover within the construct. Now, when this form is first created, Naruto and Kurama are only able to maintain it for 5 minutes because their bond isn't perfected yet. However, with time, they eventually increase that time to 8 minutes and then forever. Now, the reason that this mode is stronger than your average full transformation from a Jinchuriki is because both Minato and Naruto have the ability to bring other people into their chakra construct, which not only allows Kurama to protect those brought in, but also heal those and regenerate their chakra. On top of this, since it isn't a full transformation into a tailed beast, Naruto is still able to use jutsu while inside of this construct, just like the Uchiha with their Susanoo, which allows Naruto to do things like massive Rasengan or use shadow clone jutsu, which makes multiple copies of this Kurama chakra mode. On top of this, Naruto is able to cede control over to Kurama. And in Naruto Last, we see that Naruto is able to manifest this construct, separate himself from it, and have Kurama go fight for him. So I really don't have any hesitancy in saying that I believe that this form is stronger than just Sage Mode adult Naruto, especially if we're trying to separate the form from the person here. Not to mention, because Naruto is able to still use jutsus in this form, he's able to add a Rasengan to every single one of Kurama's tails, which is hilarious. What if we didn't have to separate the forms? Because God knows that Naruto doesn't. Because coming in at number 4, we have KCM plus Sage Mode, also known as Kurama Sage Mode. See, we first saw Naruto combined his Senjutsu prowess with his Kurama Chakra modes in chapter 645. And by combining KCM with Sage Mode, Naruto was able to leverage the abilities of both, which is why Kurama Sage Mode is a pretty clear choice for our number 4 on this list. In this mode, Naruto gains both the Kurama-like slits and the toad slits on his eyes, making a cross. And this is the mode that Naruto uses to battle against the likes of Madara and Obito, being able to go toe-to-toe with some of the strongest people in the Naruto Shippuden universe, even going so far as with the help of Sasuke to defeat Jubito, dragging the Ten Tails out of him with their majestic attire Susanoo. But the reason that this mode is so much more powerful than just KCM or Senjutsu is because Naruto in Kurama Chakra mode is able to gather Senjutsu Chakra faster, something that in the early days of his Sage Mode career was an issue for. And this is made even crazier by the later advancement of Kurama actually gathering Senjutsu Chakra for Naruto, as Kurama, while he is inside of Naruto in KCM 2 at least, isn't moving. He's sitting within Naruto, which means he's in the perfect situation to gather Senjutsu Chakra. On top of this, Kurama's Chakra pool is absolutely insane, and therefore he can make almost as much Senjutsu Chakra, if not more, than Naruto. He can then feed that Chakra into Naruto so Naruto can continue having a Sage Mode active without gathering Senjutsu Chakra of his own. But here's the thing, even the combination of these two techniques wasn't enough for Naruto, or it wasn't enough for Madara, because even though Naruto had combined these two techniques and Sasuke had perfected his Susanoo, they still were relatively no match against a 3 Rinnegan Madara, who was said to be encroaching upon Hagoromo's power. And because of this, Chakra Sky Daddy and Hagoromo had to come down and bestow upon Naruto and Sasuke some godly hacks, which is why coming in at our number 3 spot, we have the 6-Path Sage Mode. See, this mode is a variation of KCM plus Sage Mode. It's just the Sage Mode being used is 6-Path Sage Mode. In this mode, Naruto's appearance changes, mirroring that of Hagoromo, the Sage of 6 Paths. And further mirroring Hagoromo, in this mode, Naruto is also able to use Truth Seeker Orbs, which are a Kekemora, the combination of all 5 elemental releases and yin and yang. Naruto in this mode is massively faster than light, has planetary level defenses, has almost unlimited amounts of chakra, chakra. His healing factor is able to heal him from basically any injury almost simultaneously, and his chakra output in this level is one of the greatest we've ever seen. Naruto in this mode was so fast he was able to catch Kaguya, yes, Kaguya, off guard, as well as tank a full Chidori from Sasuke, who also had Sage of Six Paths chakra. Now mind you, Naruto has never lost his Six Paths chakra. In fact, in Boruto, to this day, he still uses KCM in combination with his Six Paths chakra, or at least he did for a long time. And while it's not entirely sure if his Six Paths chakra dissipated along with Kurama, this means that any of the feats we saw from Naruto pre-chapter 55 in Boruto came to us through the medium of Sage of Six Paths mode combined with KCM, which means the likes of defeating Momoshiki, the likes of defeating Delta, the likes of going toe-to-toe with Ishiki and not really doing super well, but still fighting, all in this mode.
But Nick, if we're taking into consideration Naruto's feats in this mode in Boruto, how is it number 3?
That's a great question. See, when talking about Naruto's modes, and especially talking about Naruto's modes in between Naruto and Boruto, we get into slightly murky water. Naruto is absolutely at his strongest in Boruto. However, Kishimoto, between Naruto and Boruto, decided to take his art direction in a different way. See, Kishimoto realized that by the time the war arc rolled around at Shippuden, that he wasn't dealing with ninjas anymore. The scale, the size, the power had all gone out of whack. Sasuke was piloting a giant chakra mech. Naruto was controlling a huge mega fox. It didn't look like ninjas battling anymore. So Kishimoto, instead of deciding to continue scaling and scaling and scaling like it was Gurren Lagann, and get some comments from people being like, it's Gurren Lagann, decided instead to scale things down. Not to nerf powers, but to scale things down. Meaning that people like Naruto and Sasuke would use their big flashy moves less and focus more on taijutsu. The things that Kishimoto started the show off with. Because of this, in the final chapters of Naruto, we saw some of the strongest forms that we'll probably never see again. Like the form we have coming in our second spot here, Ashura Kurama mode. See, this mode happened after Naruto received the Six Paths Senjutsu. Even after receiving the Six Paths Senjutsu, Naruto was still able to enter his Tailed Beast mode, which is when he creates the chakra construct of Kurama. Remember how we said that Naruto was still able to use jutsus while in this chakra construct? Well, he's also able to still use shadow clones. So this mode is what happens when Naruto creates 2 shadow clones of the Kurama construct and jams them together, making a 6-armed, 3-faced, 27-tailed Kurama. Now, mind you, since Kurama is based off of a Kitsune, which actually gets stronger the more tails they acquire, the idea of Kurama having 27 would mean this is the strongest version of Kurama, even though Kitsunes are said to only be able to manifest 9 tails. And in this form, Naruto is able to use an attack known as Six Paths Ultra Big Ball Rasen Shuriken, as well as simultaneously using a Tailed Beast Ball Rasen Shuriken, both of which he was able to hurl at Sasuke's Indra's arrow and nullify it completely. Mind you, the explosion from this was so devastating, it basically recarved out the Valley of the End. Now, I'm not saying that Ashura Kurama mode is stronger than the versions of Naruto we've seen in Boruto, because once again, stronger Naruto, stronger forms. What I am saying, however, is if Naruto in Boruto were to use Ashura Kurama mode, he would be the strongest we'd ever seen him outside of our number 1 spot. Because coming in at number 1, we have Naruto's ultimate form, at least up to this point. And what is that ultimate form, you ask? Well, that's Baryon mode. See, Baryon mode is the final form of the Nine Tails chakra mode. And I don't mean final form because it's the strongest form, even though it is. I mean final form because when you use it, you won't use Nine Tails chakra mode anymore. That's because this mode works by colliding Naruto and Kurama's chakra together to create a new form of energy. A new form of energy that super boosts Naruto to higher levels than anybody we've ever seen in the universe. See, Naruto in Baryon mode is fast enough to dodge and catch Ishiki's chakra rods, something that Sasuke with a fully evolved EMS and a 6-tome Rinnegan couldn't perceive, let alone dodge and or catch, and something that Naruto, while using his KCM and Sage of Six Paths mode in combination simultaneously, got littered with previously. This mode also allowed Naruto to speed blitz Ishiki, who was so fast he was not only able to yoink Sasuke out of his Susanoo, but Naruto out of his Tailed Beast form. On top of this, anything that Naruto comes into contact with, usually with his fists, has their life force cut down exponential. Since Naruto and Kurama are destroying chakra, any chakra they come into contact with is also destroyed, which shortens the lifespan of whoever they are touching. And Naruto in Baryon mode absolutely trounced Ishiki, with the only problem being that the mode doesn't last very long. And unfortunately, Naruto wasn't able to finish the job with Ishiki before this mode ran out. But do I believe that this is Naruto's last form? No, I believe that Naruto, upon being released from the Daikoku 10, will achieve an even stronger form. Whether that's through the medium of absorbing the 10 tails inside of himself and becoming the new Sage of Six Paths, or through combining blood with Sasuke to awaken Rinnegan, I believe Naruto has an even stronger future ahead of him. Or he could just live in a spaceless, timeless dimension with his wife for the rest of time, which I guess he wouldn't understand because, once again, timeless. But what do you guys think? How did I do? Did I miss any forms that you wanted me to talk about? Do you agree with where I put everything? Tell me in the comments below. While you guys are down there, please, for me, like this video, subscribe to the page, and hit that noti bell. It's Gurren Lagann.